Today, I'm back in my high school to meet my favorite teachers. Since I drove here from Seoul for 2 hours, I thought it would be a perfect day to show you around campus and share what it was like being a student here. This was a school that was featured in New York Times in 2008. So, let's go! Korean Minjuk Leadership Academy, or KMLA, is a boarding school in South Korea. The place, the philosophy, and the people make this place fascinating. As a millennial, I grew up reading Harry Potter, which meant that I romanticized getting a letter from Hogwarts at 11. Never got my letter from Hogwarts, but I got one from KMLA. So as part of the application process, I had to run laps under the scorching sun and study a lot. 정말 공부 열심히 하게 생겼네. Once I got in, there were no secret chambers or professors and teachers who would turn into cats. But at the same time, look at this place. It reminded me a lot of what it means to be Korean. I had hanbok as my uniform and also was studying in these Kiwa buildings. Those are great reminders, and that's one of the reasons why I never adopted an English name. I felt that keeping my name was one way to show my Korean pride. This school is also in Gangwon Hwingseol. Closest karaoke was 20 minutes away by car. That gave me ample time to focus on my studies and focus on myself. One of our buildings, 다상관. Let's go! KMLA also had unique philosophies, such as no dating, English-only policy, as well as debates led by students and role plays during classes. Being a good student, I feel like I'm still living by that rule, but there were also classmates as well as graduates before me who are married. So I think it's time for me to grow up. In terms of the English-only policy, I think it was a little bit painful for me because I like to think that I'm funnier in Korean than in English. Once you get caught speaking Korean, you will be brought to the student court and judged in front of the whole class. I do think the English-only policy paid dividends. I've been working in the States for 7 years and had no trouble speaking English. Classes were led in a debate style, so it helped me really prepare in advance and think through what's important, what are the things that the protagonist would be thinking. So, court's over, we're gonna go for a walk, and I'll take you to my favorite building in school. Let's go! Each year consists of 150 students. By the time I graduated, I kind of knew everyone in class. By the way, there are 3 years in Korean high schools versus 4 years in American high schools. One thing that all of us as students had in common is the intellectual curiosity. We were so passionate about learning, and the teachers here supported that passion with love and care. My senior year of high school, I was a little stress ball. And I fought a lot with my mom. I was crying a lot. And when my PE teacher saw that, she really guided me to the right direction. She's one of my favorite teachers, and we still keep in touch. I hope to invite her to my wedding in the future if I get married. After class, we would go to our European teacher's home and cook together and watch old movies, such as 007. It was truly a bonding moment. This is a row for our future graduates, soon to win Nobel Prizes. I went to UC Berkeley for undergrad, where professors who won Nobel Prizes got a parking spot. What would you choose? A parking spot or a statue of yourself? The choice is yours. I wish that they expand beyond just Nobel Prizes. There's so much more than winning a prize. You can go out and make inventions, write a great novel, also start a company and sell your startup too. There are many things that I feel like our graduates have done that the school should start recognizing. Did you have a nickname in high school? Mine was New Boy. I did a lot of kendo and had a super short haircut. I was a tomboy back then. My history teacher saw me and said, "You're the new boy in class, so new boy." My friends used to joke that new boy, NB, can also stand for no boyfriend, which is still the case. So be careful with your nicknames. Remember that words have power. Now we're at my favorite building in school, and this is where I used to have my PE classes. So I used to come here every morning at 6:30 a.m. for my kendo classes, and after dinner come back here for my basketball tournament practices. Let's take a look inside. Going way upstairs, using the back stairs. This is also where we had our school parties. Imagine in this large space with less than 450 students, with the lights dimmed. It was a little awkward, I gotta say, but I remember still having a lot of fun here. So this is the Culture Center, where I used to learn how to play the Korean harp. This is where the students learned traditional Korean music, kugak. My fun fact at work used to be I know how to play the Korean harp. Now I'm looking for a new one. Yeah, so let's take a look around. So this is hanbok, and it's our school uniform. As you can see, it is very functional and comfortable. I can even run in this, believe it or not. So because I felt no other need to wear any other clothes, my sense of style is buried somewhere in the woods. Another thing about living in a dorm is that I felt like I lost time to spend with my mom and dad. I can see that they're growing old day by day. So that's one trade-off. You make a lot of memories with your friends, but then again, miss out on those formative years spending with your parents. Well, one last thing is that while living in this middle of nowhere, I lost my self-control with food. I didn't lose appetite, it was the other way around. School had a strict policy on how many times you can order food delivery, so that was once a month for chicken. Because it's so restrictive, I had this desire to eat fast food, cookies, cake, donuts. Krispy Kreme was like my thing. So my mom sent me endless supplies of foods that kind of made me gain weight, and I couldn't even tell because this is elastic. The things I've lost meant a big deal for me. I don't like hypothetical scenarios of would you choose to go back to high school? The answer for me is no. But at the same time, there are many things that I'm thankful for at this school. To begin with, all the relationships I had. Ever since graduating from high school, I felt like a lot of my friends, my peers, as well as the graduates of the school have helped me throughout my application process of a job or even for business school. even now, when I'm thinking through like what I want to do next in my life and ask them for advice on how do I split my time between the US and Korea, where do I want to go from here? Those are all the questions and advice I've been able to get from my friends. I love to learn. I'm constantly learning. That drive has really started from school. Even when I'm busy with my work and my schedule, I manage to make time to learn Pilates, yoga, and get scuba certified. This school has taught me the joy of learning. If you put your mind to it, you will learn. And last but not least, I really started constantly questioning what it is that I want to do with my life. Where do I want to go from here? The school motto echoes the importance of studying for the greater good and not for personal success. Every Monday, I had to recite this motto, and teenage Yujin thought, I want to go to an Ivy. What do you mean studying is not for me, but for my country? At 32, I am starting to kind of get what the founder meant. KMLA's founder was a successful businessman. He dedicated his fortune to establish KMLA, which would educate future global leaders. And the school used to be free. What would you build with your success? I'm trying to figure out where I want to dedicate my life. For now, my dream is to start a cancer foundation. Fingers crossed. I am thankful for all that I have learned, and am still learning from KMLA. That wraps up our tour. Did you like it? I got at least 5,000 steps today just from walking around. And hopefully I'll be back at UC Berkeley next year for my 10-year reunion. Until then, stay healthy and see you next time.